He trained his mind among the Black Bear School of Chess. Some came to sow seeds of doubt.
I don't know why you're looking at me. You should be looking at the board. He's not even looking at the board, so I guess I should be afraid. But guess what? I'm not looking at the board neither. Ain't no magic here. There's no magic here. Magic's for fools that want to be tricked. How many moves left? How many moves left? Tap, move, tap. What you think? You want to come inside my house? How about come in your house?
Oh! Others for the blur, head to hand to piece the clock.
You lose!
And some laid traps.
Unaware of the danger, this flies like a man flying blind.
Sees you reaching for your piece, hand trembling, and he's got you. And through defeat, he learned to dive again and again. You could beat every bear in the forest, but the game is never finished.
I think there's been times where you do feel just a bit rubbish and just feel sorry for yourself.
I think that's what living with me 24/7 is. Yeah.
It's like, it feels almost surreal. Like, you feel as if you've kind of stepped into this alternate reality that isn't your norm. Like, for me, my norm is do what I want, like, and then all of a sudden you've kind of, it's almost like a social castration.
It's a bit depressing, really, and it's very lonely. Yeah.
So, yeah, I miss, oh, I can't remember what I miss. It's been so long.
It's getting a little bit repetitive, to say the least, like every day being the same, not being able to, just pop out and do something to make yourself feel a bit more normal. My patience is running a bit low.
If a relationship can make it through this lockdown, I think they're set for life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But even for my child, it was very difficult to explain. Why can't we go out? She would say, and it's like, well, we just can't.
You wonder just how much longer it's going on for, though, don't you?
Eleanor T. Fitzsimmons was born on a Thursday and was described by the doctor as having a particularly curious disposition. By age 8, she was an accomplished pastry chef. Her signature dish, baked Alaska, browned to perfection. Almost. In the 3rd grade, her portrait of her French bulldog, Henry Paxton, was exhibited in the National Art Gallery. The following spring, her hands-free toothbrushing apparatus took top honors at the Winter Haven Science Fair. Ah, yes, your summer crush. By 10, Eleanor became the youngest ever chess master. Oh, right, grandmaster. And by 11, her collection of arthropods was recognized as an important contribution to the field of entomology. Eleanor T. Fitzsimmons can do more than people might think, just like an iShares ETF, which can do more than investors might think. Get a new perspective on your portfolio and explore the many ways to use an iShares ETF. iShares. Invest in something bigger.
時々考えるんだ。
私って何者？
できることなんてあるの？
私期待外れなのかな？
普通じゃないのかな？
このままでいいのかな？
全部無視できたらいいのに。
私浮いてる？
もっと馴染んだ方がいいのかな？
ここにいちゃダメなの？
みんな注目。今日は転校生を紹介します。
みんなに好かれなきゃ。
我慢しなきゃ。
気にしないふりしなきゃ。
関係ないじゃん。学校だって大事なのよ。このこと一緒にしないで。
今までずっとそうだった。それが当たり前だって思ってた。でもそんなことないかもね。
ないね。
ないでしょ。
ありえないって。
いつか誰もが
ありのままに生きられる
世界になるって？
でもそんなの待ってられないよ。
Mrs. Long?
Yes.
We've found a baby girl for your adoption, but there's some things you need to know. She's in Siberia, and she was born with a rare condition. Her legs will need to be amputated. I know this is difficult to hear. Her life, it won't be easy. Mrs. Long?
It might not be easy, but it'll be amazing. I can't wait to meet her.
We believe there is hope and strength in all of us. Toyota, proud partner of Team USA.
You love me. You love me not. You love black culture, but do you love me? You love how I sound, my voice, these beats, this flow. Not me though, right? You love how I look, my hair, this skin, but me? Nah. We don't get to exist. We're forced to survive. We still fight. We still play while the world burns. On fields that ain't even level. All men are created equal. That's my favorite part. You hate us so deeply, but you're still so impressed. Why can't you see? There's history in our skin. You built this country on our backs. I'm him, he's me, she, us, we are all black.
Power to live right. I got the power. Power to walk right. We got power.
Love me or not, we love each other deeply. We gon' be us. We gon' break bread. We gon' defy gravity. You love my culture, but do you love me? What a world that would be.
Baby, hi. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to Earth, home to 8 billion humans who were also once babies. Even him. Right now, you only need to know 2 of them. And together, you make a family. These are also families. Neat, huh? Now, you're kind of a big deal around here. Watch this. Do anything right now. That baby is called Control. Enjoy it. Oh, and this? Oh, yeah, that won't fly when you're older, kid. And you get to have your favorite meal whenever you're, well, hungry. You'll go through a phase where you think everything is edible. Most of it isn't. But sometimes you can literally sleep whenever you want. Or not. Oh, so Dad's head isn't on upside down. That's just a beard. Yep, being a baby is pretty great. Everyone is always thrilled to see you. Well, almost everyone. You can go, go, whenever nature calls. That's where we come in. We're Huggies. Hi. We make these and other stuff to help your parents keep you comfy. So you have time for something important, like finding your foot. Go easy, kid. Whoa, where'd he go? See, the thing is, baby, it's a crazy world, but you'll grow to love it. Well, most of it anyway. Get some rest now, kiddo. We'll be here when you wake up, which should be right about... Huggies. We got you, baby.
Welcome to the 59th D&AD Awards. To all the agencies and studios and watch parties and everyone and anyone who's tuning in from any part of the world, thank you for joining us. Today and tomorrow will be a celebration at the end of what's been an incredibly challenging year. For many countries and communities across the world, the pandemic has been an ongoing tragedy. It's hard to find the right words for the sadness and suffering we've all witnessed and experienced. And it's been a very difficult challenge for much of the creative community too, where we all lost our workplaces and our working rhythms. Many of us lost projects and clients, and some of us lost our jobs. But there have been and will continue to be some positive outcomes. We found new ways to work, and we're now rethinking the whole idea of the workplace. We found new ways to have a truly accessible global experience like this one. And we have new expectations. For example, we no longer think it's necessary to fly across the world to work across the world. And I feel that the global pandemic has helped us to attune to our broader responsibilities as well. As an industry, we're beginning to make the long, slow, but important change to value all voices and understand how to practice diversity, equity, and inclusion to a meaningful degree. And we're waking up to sustainability. to the need to get on our paths to net zero, and to the hugely important role that creativity has to play there. It's a moment of resilience for where we are now, and imagination for what the future can be, and that's exactly where creativity plays at its best, drawing on our hope, skill, and positive energy to improve outcomes for our clients and for us all. And judging by the standard of the winners that I've seen, we've been resilient and some, and we've been imaginative and some, because I'm delighted to say that the standard of the work this year, not just in these circumstances, but under any circumstances, is excitingly high. But it wasn't just the industry that had to be resilient and imaginative, it was D&AD as well. For D&AD, the last 16 months have been hard. With half our income coming from physical events, it became very clear early last year that we'd have to act swiftly and decisively to survive. We had to furlough some colleagues and we had to switch to digital delivery, but we managed and we did a bit better than that. From where we were last March, having to cancel the festival and scramble, we've emerged leaner and more focused on the things we should be focused on, supporting next generation creatives globally, exploring what creative excellence looks like right now, working towards diversity, equity and inclusion in our business, creating education and inspiration that's accessible to all, including a new expanded Shift program with our friends at Google in 5 cities around the world, and including the Digital Annual, reaching more people than we ever dared to hope. For all of that, a very special thank you to D&AD's smaller but still brilliant band of sisters and brothers who've worked so hard to make it happen. So it only remains for me to thank you all for your support. Thank you, of course, for entering the awards and the New Blood Awards. And thank you to our judges who once again lent D&AD and the industry their insight, expertise and time to seek out and award creative excellence. Done on Zoom, which is never easy, but in the very best spirit. We'd also like to extend our thanks to Asana for partnering with us on the awards this year. We're looking forward to a creative leadership event we're running with Asana later this year, and details are in the chat if you want to check it out. Thank you to everyone for accessing our content over the last year and for using our other products and services. We're here to serve the community, and it's good to know that the community wanted it and responded to it. And one last thing, I'd like to call out all the hard work and dedication this industry has committed to helping to raise awareness and protect lives in this last year of COVID-19, much of which was done pro bono and out of a simple desire just to play a part. So thank you for that. So let's get into the awards part 1. This year, to give us time to celebrate the great achievements of the wood pencil winners as well as the other winners, we split the ceremony over 2 nights. And with the sheer breadth of the D&AD Awards covering design, advertising, culture, production, craft and impact, one night was just not going to cut it. So to host the awards, let me introduce the wonderful Ramel London, who's joining us this evening to present the show. Hey, Ramel.
Hello, thank you so much, Naresh. I appreciate it. Right, hello everyone and welcome to a great night. It's going to be so much fun and I believe there are many people gathered tonight. Of course, where legal and possible, and as I'm aware, many of places around the world are still unsafe to do so. But if you are gathered to watch, whether it's first thing in the morning, lunchtime or night, please do tell us where you are in the chat. Add your name, your location, project, category, the category you're waiting to hear for as well, for a possible shout out, because I'm going to be doing that all night, don't you worry. Also, share a pic of you gathered together, whether on video call or in person, and tag D&AD. The handles are on the screen now in the chat, but just to let you know, it's Instagram at D_and_AD, Twitter at D&AD, and then hashtag D&AD21. Please do share your pics on social and we'll highlight a few throughout tonight. So here's how the evening is going to run. Tonight, we are announcing the winners of craft, advertising, disciplines, along with the next awards and side hustle. The show will conclude with the winners of collaborative award and continue on to tomorrow night for the remaining categories and special president's awards and black pencil winners, if any. So let's go. First up is animation. And our first pencil of the night is for Away Travel, The Vote by Hornet. Pretending to Forget by Dentsu. Unbreakable by Area 23 and FCB Health Network Company. Enjoy the Healthy You Love by Dentsu. Pantene Nutrient Blends Collection by Detroit. Give a Little Love by Adam and Eve DDB. Forbidden Stories by Wonderman Thompson Paris. And our final animation wood pencil goes to World's First Animated COVID Mask in Aid of Great Ormond Street Hospital by No Mint. And the graphite pencils for animation have been awarded to Airbnb Combating Discrimination by Giant Ant for Airbnb. How Have You Been by WeTransfer for WeTransfer. Kura Viva by Roof Studio for CRK and Kura Viva Bildung. Trapped by Area 23 and FCB Health Network Company for InSmed. Childline Nobody Is Normal by The Gate for Childline. Two Monsters in My Story by publicist Conceal for Face à la Lincest. And the last animation for graphite pencil goes to One More Time by Ku Se Mei and Jay Semtimo for Superhero Me. Onto our coveted yellow pencils for animation. And our first yellow pencil is for Two Monsters in My Story by publicist Conceal and production by Jungler for Face à la Incest.
Sort de sa cachette quand vient le soir. Pressé, rampant, ombre dans la nuit, c'est quand toute la maison dort qu'il se glisse dans mon lit. Si je ferme les yeux très fort, peut-être qu'alors le premier ouvre sa porte et surgit. Bondit, menaçant, il chasse le rampant sans le moindre répit.
Childline, Nobody Is Normal by The Gate, and production by Rowdy and Blink Inc. for Childline.
Just like an angel, skin makes me cry, but I'm a creep.
And our final yellow pencil in animation is awarded to #Womb Stories by AMV BBDO and production by Chelsea Pictures for Essity Lebresse. Congratulations to our first winners of the night. We now move on to illustration. And the wood pencils go to Light On by Leo Burnett, London. Boring Heroes by McCann, New York. Write for Your Rights by Cosette. EDO 2220 by Coiso Design. Only Keep the Best of France by TBWA Paris. Royal Mail Stamps by MB Studio. Personal Fuel by Dentsu Tokyo. Shade of Trees, Pigeons and People, Life and Nostalgia in Beijing Hutong's Alleys by 10 Million Times Design. Chief of NWHM Glass Ceiling Breaker by BBH, New York. And Big Change Starts Small by Kin. And the graphites go to Robin Hood illustration by Collins for Robin Hood. #Womb Stories by AMV BBDO for Essity. The most epic seafaring legend ever told by Leo Burnett Madrid for Procter & Gamble. MailChimp annual report by MailChimp for MailChimp. And Imbalance by Indigo Design for Naughty Roll. And the yellow pencils for illustration go to Brianna Taylor, September 2020 cover, illustration by Vanity Fair for Vanity Fair. And to Blue Lights by AKQA for Casa Viva and Casa Anastasia.
A escuridão.
That Vanity Fair cover was one hotly debated in the Black Pencil jury for a strength of the message and use of illustration for magazine that usually uses photography on its cover. But of course, we won't know the pencil winners until tomorrow night, so stay tuned. Right, moving on to editing. And the wood pencils go to The Truth is Essential, Life Needs Truth by Trim Editing. Maurice and the Black Bear School by Droga 5 New York. MBA on ESPN, it's MBA on ESPN Time by Arts and Letters Creative. And Epilepsy Research UK by Stitch. And the graphites go to Macmillan, Tender Yet Tough by Stitch and Macmillan. Megan Thee Stallion by the New York Times for the New York Times. Hashtag End Violence More Than a Mark by BBDO Group, Germany for UNICEF Dutchland. Life Needs Truth by Trim at Cosmo Street for the New York Times. Now, one yellow pencil was awarded in editing, and that goes to The Whole Working From Home Thing by Work Editorial and Production by Smuggler for Apple.
Morning. Good morning. So Project Pandora's box is back, and we need to present new designs on Monday. Oh, and it needs to be recyclable. Any questions?
Yeah, when you say recyclable.
Good.
No!
What's
going on? Project Pandora's box is back.
What? No!
We can't do this in 1 week. It's just a box.
But we're working from home, Bridget.
Exactly. And I got kids all week.
And I have my mom all the time.
You say something, boo-boo? Okay. We can totally do this, okay? Today we'll get up to speed and then...
And now I'd love to respond to some of the shout outs coming in via the chat. I told you I would. So shout out to Kat Ironjad from Cinder, New York. Hey, New York, who was this year's illustration jury resident. Yes, we love that. And shout out to Shireen Mustafa, who is watching the ceremony live and who also judged this year's sound design and use of music category. Thank you so much. Also shout out to the chat to Ria Guraja in India. Yes, all the way in India, Ganel from Toronto, Canada, and Thomas in Ireland. We are worldwide right now. I absolutely love this. Please do keep sending images and tell us where you're watching from. Reminder, the handles are Instagram at D_and_AD, Twitter at D&AD, and hashtag D&AD21. I'm going to get it by the end of this. We'd love to include you guys in the show. Now, we move on to cinematography. And the wood pencils go to Sunbeams by Stink Films. The Farewell, Icknoquatl by Ogilvy, Mexico. Macmillan, Whatever It Takes by Iconoclast. Now we have one graphite in cinematography, and it goes to The Parents by Forsman and Bodensfor for Volvo Car. And the yellow pencil awarded in cinematography goes to You Love Me by Translation and production by Pretty Bird for Beats by Dr. Dre.
love black culture, but do you love me? You love how I sound, my voice, these beats, this flow. Not me though, right? You love how I look.
Next, we move on to photography. And the wood pencil go to Save Our Sentinels by Wonderman Thompson, Mumbai. Revolution Around the Light, the Star 24 Solar Terms on the Floor by Quincy Design. Uniform by Ogilvy, Taiwan. The New Humanity by Armando Testa Spa. And McDonald's Reflections by DDB and Ontario, New Zealand. And the graphite pencils go to The World Deserves Witnesses by TBWA Paris for Leica. Courage is Beautiful by Ogilvy UK and Ogilvy Toronto for Unilever. And if it doesn't fit, donate it by the odd number for Salvation Army. Now, no yellow pencils were awarded in this category, so on to direction. And the wood pencils go to Burberry Festive by Riff Raff Films. Whatever It Takes by AMV BBDO. Hashtag Womb Stories by AMV BBDO. Shot on iPhone 12 Pro Max, I Chinese New Year, Neon by TBWA Media Arts Lab Shanghai. Life Needs Truth by Drogo 5 New York and some such. And Shelf Life, Stussy and Nike by Massive. And the graphites go to Hashtag Womb Stories by AMV BBDO for Essity. Whatever It Takes by AMV BBDO for Macmillan Cancer Support. The Parents by Forsman and Bodenfors for Volvo Car. You Love Me by Translation for Beats by Dr. Dre. Tipping Point by DDB Paris for Ubisoft. The Long Goodbye by Some Such for Riz Ahmed. And Life Needs Truth by Some Such for the New York Times. And the yellow pencils have gone too. The Whole Working From Home Thing by Smuggler New York with production by Smuggler for Apple.
Too expensive.
What about tissue paper?
Too fragile.
Any other ideas?
Did you guys hear? I think Vivian has a new assistant.
That's like the 4th one this year.
What happened to the one that cried all the time?
She had to go back to Canada.
What if we did something like this?
Meatballs?
No, hexagons.
Yeah, it's cool, like this.
Real 5G by Academy Film with production by Academy Films for free.
UK. You okay, hun? Hold on to your crumpets. 3's building the UK's fastest 5G network. Next stop, the future.
What a beautiful day! Rate your driverless cabby with 5 beautiful stars. Did you see the football last night?
They call me the big dog. I'm an astronaut. It's a match.
It took an alien to make me feel human again.
Diesel Francesca by Division for Diesel.
I would shiver the whole night through. Hey girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows.
Congratulations to all the direction winners. Now we move on to casting. And the wood pencils have been awarded to Macmillan, Whatever It Takes by Iconoclast, Round Our Way by Lucky Generals, The Originals by Academy, Puja Didi by Taproot Dentsu, We Will Hug Again by Anomaly Berlin, The Artist by Ogilvy Mumbai, Beyond Skin by BETC Paris, Hit of Home by Wonderhood Studios, and The Show Must Go On by Lucky Generals. And the casting graphite pencils go to The Artist by Ogilvy Mumbai for ITC, The Future Isn't Waiting by Wyden and Kennedy Tokyo for Nike, Child Soldier by Across the Pond for Education Above All Foundation. Now there's one yellow pencil which has been awarded in casting, and that has been awarded to Diesel Francesca by Division for Diesel. Congratulations again to all the winners, and Diesel Francesca is a popular one, and if you didn't know, it's a true story. So again, congratulations. On to art direction. And the wood pencils go to Doritos Wasabi by Almap BBDO, Hershey by BETC Sao Paulo, Aesop presents Free Aromatic Candles and Other Stories by Studio Regal, Shot on iPhone Vertical Cinema by TBWA Media Arts Lab, Maurice and the Black Bear School by Droga 5 New York, Safely Feel the Real World by Amber China, Salah 2032 by Africa, Boards of Change by FCB Chicago, Only Keep the Best for France by TBWA Paris, Emerson's Tiny Pub by DDB Group New Zealand, The Massacre of Kingdom by Wyden and Kennedy Tokyo, and The Uncensored Library by DDB Group Germany. And the art direction graphite pencils this year go to Salah 2032 by Africa for House of Lapland, US Air Force Into the Storm by GSD&M for US Air Force, Starburst Swirlers by DDB Chicago for Mars, Childline Nobody is Normal by The Gate for Childline, Life Needs Truth by Droga 5 New York for the New York Times, Upstream by Saatchi & Saatchi Los Angeles for Toyota Motor North America, One Story Away by AKQA for Netflix, and Farewell Work Holiday Parties by DDB Chicago for Miller Lite. And the 2021 Art Direction Yellow Pencils have been awarded to One Story Away by AKQA for Netflix.
We're only one story away. We started by taking the timeline everyone already knows and using it to show how a story's progression can change the way people see things. Then, we launched it as a global celebration of the power of stories in 27 countries simultaneously, tapping into local cultural content.
And hashtag Womb Stories by AMV BBDO for Essity Bodyform Libres. And some shout outs from social. Let's get into it. Reminder, the handles are Instagram at D_and_AD, Twitter at D&AD, and hashtag D&AD21. Right, so we've got a shout out. Shout out to Frank, Danielle. Is that Raul on the chat? Hello, guys. Thanks for being here. And shout out to Giant Kung. Is that Grant? It's either Giant, sorry, it might be Grant King, Chief Creative Officer, and the rest of them at Ogilvy, Taiwan. If you are a Giant Grant, we love that. Thank you so much. Right, now back to the show and onto production design. And the wood pencils go to Volkswagen, The Wheel by Joanne Leonardo. The Momentous Moments of Max and Maxine by Area 23 and AFCB Health Network Company. And Give a Little Love by Adam and Eve DDB. Now, one graphite pencil has gone to Real 5G by Academy Films for free. And one yellow pencil was awarded to Star Park by Biscuit Filmworks LA and Revolver Production by Biscuit Filmworks LA and Revolver for Brawl Stars.
楽しそうですね。もっとお見せしましょう。スターパーク、この魔法のような空間には従業員の血と汗と涙が注ぎ込まれています。たくさんの涙、たくさんの血。
Congratulations to all the winners in production design. We move on to sound design and use of music. And the wood pencils go to Oculus, First Steps by String and Tins. The Hiring Chain by Indiana Production. Google Black Owned Friday by BBH New York. You Love Me by Translation. Project Miss Mozart by Almap BBDO. Whatever It Takes by AMV BBDO. Wildly Deliciously Organic by Soundtree Music. Dante's Heartbeats by Abby Priest. Yahoo and Tank and the Bangus and Friends by Elephant. Burberry Festive by 20 Below Music. Piano by BBDO New York. Nike You Can't Stop Us, Victory Swim by K. Oskwarek Music. Vincent by Box of Toys Audio. The Power of Sounds by Factory Siren. Tipping Point by DDB Paris. And the graphite pencils go to Save Our Sentinels by Wonderman Thompson for Jimmy Nelson Foundation. Pooja Didi by Taproot Dentsu for Facebook. Levi's, When You Take a Step, We All Move by Newland for Levi's. Maurice and the Black Bear School by Droga 5, New York for Hennessy. And there are no yellow pencils in sound design this year. Just a reminder that there are no quotas at D&AD. Results are based on the excellence of the work and the jury's vote. And of course, graphite is awarded only to a tiny percentage of all the entries submitted. So a pretty remarkable achievement in itself. So let's move on to visual effects. The wood pencils go to Glen Morangi, It's Kind of Delicious and Wonderful by MPC London. Scotland at Night by Whitespace. And Connections by Sayan Lee. And the graphite pencils have been awarded to Eleanor T. Fitzsimmons by DDB San Francisco for iShares. Books by TBWA Paris for McDonald's France. And Burberry Festive by MPC London for Burberry. Now, 4 yellow pencils have been awarded in visual effects, and these go to Tipping Point by DDB Paris Production by Pinkman.TV Ubisoft.
But the work of an individual. The criminals suspected to have links with the
Burberry Festive by MPC London Production by Riff Raff Burberry.
Again, up in the clouds, dark up above, sun in my heart, and I'm ready for love. Ready for love, I'm ready for love.
Jägermeister, Be the Meister by Electric Theatre Collective Production by Skunk London and Radioactive for Jägermeister. And Our House is on Fire by Fred and Farid, Los Angeles production by Ways and Means for Fridays for Future Us.
Lunch is there.
Love you.
Bye, sweetheart. Have a good day.
Congratulations to all the visual effects winners. Now, on to typography. And the wood pencils go to Amstel Dock by Super Union. Flame Licked Type Your Way by Jones Knowles Ritchie. And The Polite Type by TBWA Helsinki. And typography's 1 yellow pencil has been awarded to San Francisco Symphony Dynamic Typography by Collins for San Francisco Symphony. And now, onto our final 2 craft categories for writing, where we see the return of the 2 standalone juries, writing for design and writing for advertising, after the categories were incorporated into all categories last year. So first up, writing for design. And the wood pencils go to The Emporium by Among Equals. Voice of Racism by Clemenga BBDO Wellington. Fram, Tough Beautiful by Supple Studio. Story Espresso Coffee Cups by For the People. Nowhere by the Stone Twins. Met Hotel by the Stone Twins. Clear Mobile by Super Union. Unite Against COVID-19 by Clemenga BBDO Wellington. East London Liquor Company by Ragged Edge. And The Endless Letter on Instagram Stories by RT Creative Lab. And the graphite pencils go to Unite Against COVID-19 by Clemenga BBDO Wellington for New Zealand Government. And it goes by Havas Links Group for Havas Links Group. The Birth of Gaming Tourism by McCann London from Microsoft. Milo by Ragged Edge for Milo. We Got You Baby by Droga 5 for Kimberly Clark. And Story Espresso by For the People for Story Espresso. Now, 1 yellow pencil was awarded in writing for design, and that goes to Postmates. Don't Cook Book by Mother LA for Postmates. Now, in quarantine, where everyone tried cooking or baking, Postmates played off the moment to create a cookbook to help people don't cook. And the Don't Cook book contains popular food recipes, only every recipe ends with a QR code to scan that lets you order the food directly from a nearby restaurant. Filled with artwork, jokes, and thoughtful design, the book entertains as you wait for your food to arrive. And moving swiftly on to writing for advertising. And the wood pencils go to Oversharing by TBWA Media Arts Lab. Relax, It's Modern Emotion by BMB. Marital Bliss by TBWA Hunt Lascaris. And the graphite pencils go to Don't Get Sidetracked, Get Set Up by Droga 5 London for Setup. We're going to continue with The Whole Working From Home Thing by Apple for Apple. And Confusing Times by David Madrid for Burger King. And the hotly awaited yellow pencils for writing for advertising this year go to Daddy Daddy Look at Me by Boys and Girls for Swim Island.
Look at me! Daddy!
Look away for a moment, and they could be taken away forever. Visit swimireland.ie.
And 2, You Love Me by Translation Production by Pretty Bird, Beats by Dr. Dre.
We gon' be us. We gon' break bread. We gon' defy gravity. You love my culture, but do you love me? What a world that would be.
So, let's move on as we now look at a separate program called Next Awards, which recognizes the achievements of creatives, designers, and craftspeople that have been producing commercial work in this industry for less than 3 years. Let's take a look. Firstly, we look at Next Creatives, and shortlists go to Jack Gravatt and Till Dittmers, Charlotte Alford and Lucy Doda, Ben Muckensturm. Now, 2 pencils were awarded to Next Creative entrants, and these were...
In order to show everyone how ridiculous and calculated these brands were, we created Cold Barley. When they made exclusive beers with amber and wood, we brewed cheap beer on jellyfish. Yes, actual jellyfish. When they sold eco-friendly t-shirts for £50, we slapped labels on second-hand clothing, giving the consumers 100% recycled clothes for half the price. And of course we made cool stickers and content to prove how serious we were. The stickers disappeared instantly. The hats were on waiting lists and people thought the beer were amazing. Every local proudly slapped stickers on their cars, identifying with Cold Bailey, and started to use the brand as a way to express how they felt about the gentrification of the area. A movement
grabbed a Morton bottle at the drink stations. Since the launch just 2 years ago, the Challenger brand has revolutionized the field of sports fuel with their hydrogel technology. But their success created quite an unusual problem. Many elite athletes, sponsored by other brands, use Morton under the radar. Unofficially, we decided to make life easier for those athletes and launched Morton Unofficial, a range of unbranded products designed for athletes who want to enjoy the benefits of Morton without risking any contracts.
Next, we have the designer shortlist, and the shortlist is Sam Cornwall and Maximilian Marosha and David Rindisbacher. And the pencils go to Yinan Liu for Link's Cal X Station Z-Wave design. And Hao Sheng Zhang for UAL LCF Personal Project Laojian Mountain. Now, both the pencil winners in the next designer category originate from China and entered work with a strong emphasis on type design. And we had just one award for next photographer. That is a pencil, and it goes to Michelle Watt for Sean Blanc Capture One Sony. Michelle Watt is a Hong Kong-born photographer based in Brooklyn. She specializes in staging conceptual narratives with a whimsical flair, often addressing themes of freedom and restriction within cultural and sexual identity. And on to next illustrator, and the shortlisted entry goes to Inga Zeimel. Now, 2 pencils were awarded, and they go to Simo Leo for self-promotion, Medium, Harvard Business Review, The Washington Post Magazine. And Eva Kremins for Pull & Bear Breaks Agency, Nike Lemonade. And in Next Director, the shortlist entered were Christian Schilling, Fen O'Mealy, Zornitsa Dimitrova, and Alex Moffenbane and Lewis Levi.
This has got to be.
And the next director pencils go to Martin Thursday for New Lives, the Mary Foundation, Denmark.
Out, etc. Does nothing. Even tries to run out after giving money over to her pimp. I actually believe she's being trafficked. Do not go near this one. It's a big con.
Mitch Kalisa for Dirty Danger, South by Southwest.
No mates outside, bad things outside, there's snakes outside, bad hate outside, no mates outside, bad things outside. Anybody that's dirty danger.
Normally at this stage of the show, we would pause to reflect and pay tribute to past hero and industry icons. However, this year, as the show continues over 2 nights, we will be paying tribute to these such individuals and close supporters of D&AD tomorrow night. And I encourage you to tune in again as we reflect on some truly remarkable lives. And we move back to the award show with Digital. And the wood pencils go to hashtag Labor Day On by Droga5 New York. Hashtag Still Speaking Up by Publicis Mexico. Hashtag The Real Heroes Project by 72 and Sunny Los Angeles. A new jingle for a new era by Ademel. Apollo in Real Time by Ben Feist. Code of Conscious by AKQA for Sao Paulo. Francesca by Publicis Italy. Google Black Owned Friday by BBH, New York. Live from the Library by FCB Chicago. Naming the Invisible by Digital Birth Registration by Ogilvy, Pakistan. Nike Air Max Create by AKQA, Tokyo. Pedestal Project by BBDO, New York. Reddit Up the Vote by RGA, California. Say List by Rothko. Thai Stay Home Miles Exchange by Wonderman Thompson, Thailand. The Clean Jersey Swap by Saatchi & Saatchi, New York. The future official sponsors of the NWSL by Viner Media. US Air Force Into the Storm by GSD and M. And Voices from Harlem by Fred and Farid, New York. And the graphite pencils this year go to hashtag Still Speaking Up by Publicis Mexico for Propesta Civica. Chaos on Mars 2020 AW Digital Lookbook Campaign by Koi Creative for SKPS. Michelob Ultra Courtside by FCB NY for Michelob Ultra. Say List by Rothko for Warner Music Group. Talk by Shield Spain for Samsung. Thai Stay Home Miles Exchange by Wonderman Thompson Thailand for Thai Airways. That look from Popeyes by Gut Agency for Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. The future official sponsors of the NWSL by Viner Media for AB InBev Budweiser. The Unsaid by Clemenga BBDO Wellington for New Zealand Human Rights Commission. Wendy's, Now That You Mention Us by VMLWLY and R Kansas City for Wendy's. And the digital yellow pencils tonight go to Raising Profiles by FCB Inferno for the big issue LinkedIn.
People completely destroyed our industry. There was no people on the street.
We went from selling 80,000 magazines a week to 0. We needed a big change in our business. We recreated the vendor sales model online, and we chose to do it on LinkedIn because that's where 70% of our vendors' former customers were.
While COVID was devastating minorities...
Search Black Owned by Google Brand Studio for Google.
People were searching to support Black-owned businesses more than ever before. The problem was there was no simple way for people to find and support Black-owned businesses they were searching for. Knowing Google Search and Maps could provide a solution at scale, we immediately set out to update both products. So, for the first time, businesses were able to identify as Black-owned on their Google profiles. We then made that information accessible to anyone looking to find and support Black-owned businesses near them. To spread the word, we built a 360 campaign.
Shot on iPhone by Damien Chazelle, Vertical Cinema by TBWA Media, Arts Lab, Los Angeles production by Super Prime for Apple. Some strong yellow pencil representation there. Shot on iPhone is a piece that's nearly 9 minutes long. It's definitely worth a watch when you can. And a great initiative from Google helping millions better support Black-owned businesses. Right, on to press and outdoor. Let's get into it. And the wood pencils go to Black Plaque Project by Havas London. Bolt Toaster Toothbrush Vacuum by Commonwealth McCann Detroit. Broken Screens by Publicis Ecuador. Calorie Burning URL by DDB Chicago. Cartoons by Leo Burnett TaylorMade. Crossed Out Classics by The Community. For Your Consideration by Saatchi & Saatchi New York. Hershey by BETC Sao Paulo. Homes of the Whopper by David Miami. McDonald's Reflections by DDB Group New Zealand. Missed Shots by Uncle Grey. Brexit Reassurance Campaign by Publicis Polk. Reddit Up the Vote by RGA California. Safety Little Red Hansel Gretel Frankenstein by Commonwealth McCann Detroit. Vancouver Mural Festival You'll Get It When You See It by 123 West. And Write for Your Rights by Cassette. And the graphite pencils go to Black Plaque Project by Havas London for Nubian Jack Community Trust. Calorie Burning URL by DDB Chicago for Molson Coors. Chief and NWHM Glass Ceiling Breaker by BBH New York for Chief. Courage is Beautiful by Ogilvy UK and Ogilvy Toronto for Unilever. If it doesn't fit, donate it by The Odd Number for the Salvation Army. Olay Face the STEM Gap by Saatchi & Saatchi New York for Procter & Gamble. One Story Away by AKQA for Netflix. Only Keep the Best of France by TBWA Paris for Le Chocolat de Francais. The Most Valuable News by Africa for Folha de Sao Paulo newspaper. Wearable Billboards by Leo Burnett Chicago for Wingstop. Write for Your Rights by Cassette for Amnesty International. And You Choose What They Chew by Leo Burnett Toronto for Milkbone. Now there are 3 yellow pencils which are awarded in Press and Outdoor, and these go to Courage is Beautiful by Ogilvy UK and Ogilvy Toronto production by Outsider Editorial for Unilever. Now, Courage is Beautiful showcased powerful portraits of real frontline healthcare workers wearing the toll of the pandemic on their faces. We turned these photographs into print and OOH, launching Unilever's commitment to donate $5 million to frontline healthcare workers globally. Next, it's Only Keep the Best for France by TBWA Paris for Le Chocolat de Francais. And finally, The Most Valuable News by Africa for Folha de Sao Paulo newspaper. Now I'd like to pause for a moment and hand over to Naresh to talk about D&AD New Blood.
Thanks, Ramel.
No worries.
So many great winners already and such powerful and important work. It's been great to see. So I love New Blood. It's one of the main reasons I'm part of D&AD. The idea of bringing on next generation talent is not only important to me, It's at the heart of D&AD's charitable remit. As a not-for-profit, all of D&AD's surpluses go straight into programs such as New Blood and Shift, inspiring emerging creative talent and stimulating the creative industry to work towards a fairer, more sustainable, and more imaginative future. New Blood started in 1980, and now it's a widespread program with New Blood Festival, New Blood Academy, Shift, and New Blood Awards. And of course, New Blood Awards is the largest industry student awards of its kind, reaching thousands of next-gen creatives in over 60 countries around the world each year. Our remit, to uplift the next generation, goes beyond those coming from a background in academia. D&AD Shift is our free, industry-led night school created to break down barriers to access the creative industry. This career-making program discovers raw, self-made talent without a university or college degree and gives them the tools they need to hone their skills, establish a network and develop their portfolio. At a time when the industry must prioritise and respond to diversity and inclusivity in the workplace, Shift is more important than ever. As we enter our 5th year in London and 4th in New York, with thanks to recent investment from Google and Adidas, we're expanding Shift to Sydney in 2021, 2 more cities by 2023, and creating a digital version of the programme to enable us to reach emerging talent at scale. Of course, we've got a long way to go until we are the diverse, inclusive and equitable industry we want to be, and we know we're just getting started with programmes like Shift. But as the industry's needs change, D&AD has to find ways to serve those needs. Our mission is to stimulate, enable and award creative excellence. But what excellence is and what excellence means is changing all the time, and we need to be alive to those changes and do our part to make them happen. So please join us across the summer as we celebrate the future creative practitioners, disruptors and leaders at the New Blood Festival from 5th July, the New Blood Awards ceremony on 8th July, and our Shift talent showcases in London, New York and Sydney across the year. These people, this next-gen talent, they are the ones who are going to show us, who are going to show the rest of us how great creativity includes diverse voices, includes climate responsibility, and is only the more powerful for doing so. Help bring this exceptional and important talent into your workplace. Support them, please. Mentor them. Be inspired by them this year more than ever. And now, back to the awards with Ramel, and we start with media.
Thank you, Naresh. And the wood pencils go to the future official sponsors of the NWSL by Vienna Media. Supporting Independence by RGA. Unboxing by FCB and Fire Spain. Medal in the New Zealand election by Special Group New Zealand. Reebok #Zig the Runway by Venables Bell and Partners. Cheetos Snap to Still by Goodbye Silverstein and Partners. Unbreakable OOH by We Believers. Love Crossings by Service Plan Germany. Uber Eats No Repeats by Special Group Australia. Reddit Superb Owl by RGA California. It's On Us by Lola Mullenlow. The Unsaid by Clemenga BBDO Wellington. Strikeout Cancer by Pages BBDO. The Isolated Cinema by Stendhals. Heinz Ketchup Puzzle by Rethink Canada. 3362falabella.com by Leo Burnett, Colombia. Buy With Your Time by Mimak Ogilvy, Dubai. The Uncensored Library by DDB Group, Germany. NRMA First Saturday by Che Proximity. Help, the Game by Che Proximity. Samsung Microcodes by Che Proximity. Calorie Burning URL by DDB Chicago. And the Beer Cat Project by Mullenlow SSP3. And the graphite pencils go to Hashtag Labor Day on by Droga 5 New York for Red Wing shoes. Contract for change by FCB Chicago, FCB New York for Ornhauser-Busch. Michelob Ultra Courtside by FCB New York for Michelob Ultra. The most valuable news by Africa for Fola di Sao Paulo newspaper. Playlist timer by Publicis Italy for Barilla. Eurofenis Plasticus by BBDO Group Germany. Almap BBDO for WWF Germany. Pedestal Project by BBDO New York for Color of Change. The Clean Jersey Swap by Saatchi & Saatchi for Procter & Gamble. Now, 2 yellow pencils were awarded in media, and these go to Donation Dollar by Saatchi & Saatchi Australia production by Revolver and Will O'Rourke for the Royal Australian Mint.
With one minted for every Australian, creating 25 million reminders to give over and over for the duration of the coin's 30-year lifespan. The more it's given, the more the ripples of impact are revealed. Launched on international...
Michelob Ultra Courtside by FCB NY for Michelob Ultra Microsoft MBA.
With Michelob Ultra, virtual fans are in attendance.
Yo, this is sick, dude. You just scan a Michelob bottle to see if you want to see.
And now to go back to social. Hey guys. So we've got Kieran Lewis who's tuning into the show tonight with a nice cold beer. Yeah, we like that. Kieran was a judge this year on the Writing for Design category. Thank you for your work, Kieran. Your well-deserved drink for you. And someone said, and who won his first pencil tonight? Hey, who was it? Was it you? Was it you? Love that. Thank you so much, guys. Reminder, the handles are Instagram at D_and_AD, Twitter at D&AD, and hashtag D&AD21. Now, we move back to the awards, and next up is radio and audio. And the wood pencils go to Flynet by Cole Reb. Hard Calls Saves Lives by AMV BBDO. Confusing Times by David Madrid. Marital Bliss by TBWA Hunt Lascaris. Money Makes Money by Dude. And Bringing Us Closer by BBC Creative. And the graphite pencils go to Nature is Calling for Help by Wonderman Thompson, Chile for World Wildlife Fund. Daddy Daddy Look at Me by Boys and Girls for Swim Island. Alexa's Burnout by Africa for Brazilian Association of Psychiatric. Xbox Series X Walking in Steve's Dreams by 215 McCann for Microsoft. There were some really high standard of wood and graphite pencils in radio and audio this year, but there were no yellow pencils awarded. So we move on to direct. And the wood pencils go to Next Minute Law by VMLY and R. Littlest Bailout by Leo Burnett, Chicago. The Birth of Gaming Tourism by McCann, London. Uniform by Ogilvy, Taiwan. Alone with Me by Spotify. The Big Danish Bacon Pre-Roll by Hijalton Stahl. Creature Discomfort's Life in Lockdown by Engine. Let Her Run by Africa. Pizza Hut and IKEA Sava by Ogilvy, Hong Kong. Shame Cards by Mullenlow. Now, there were 2 wood pencils which were awarded to Heinz Ketchup Puzzle by Rethink Canada Boards of Change by FCB Chicago. Homes of the Whopper by David Miami. Lost in Translation by VMLY&R Melbourne Royal Australian Navy Defence Force Recruitment. Honey Fruit by BBH Singapore. H&M Loop by AKQA. Birthday and Half by Grey Paris, Ogilvy Paris. That Look from Popeyes by Gut Agency. And Thai Stay Home Miles Exchange by Wonderman Thompson, Thailand. And the graphite pencils go to Eurofina's Plasticus by BBDO Group Germany for WWF Germany. The future official sponsors of the NWSL by Viner Media for AB InBev Budweiser. Cites by Hersey for Hershey. The Menu Court by David Madrid for Burger King. Donation Dollar by Saatchi & Saatchi Australia for the Royal Australian Mint. Michelob Ultra Courtside by FCB NY for NBA. Say List by Rothko for Warner Music Group. And the 2021 Direct Yellow Pencils go to Enjoy Before Returning by Publicis Italy Production by Smuggler for Diesel.
With all tags still attached and in their original packaging. All products offer bear identification label and must be tried on without removing the tag.
Launched on International Day.
And Donation Dollar by Saatchi & Saatchi Australia Production by Revolver and Will O'Rourke for the Royal Australian Mint.
By over 50,000 Australian charities, celebrities, and the entire nation.
This is a way to remind us to give back to those in need.
If you end up with one of these coins in your hand, why not throw it in our donation dog? Every single one counts.
Inspiring generosity.
Next up is Side Hustle, a slightly different award to celebrate those of us who are bringing their passion projects to life. Now, the big theme amongst our finalists this year was community, whether it be in the context of networking, mentoring, or recruitment. This year, we have 2 firsts for the category, and our first pencil winner of the Student Side Hustle and our first pencil winner for a Side Hustle Scale Up. So, without further ado, here are the Side Hustle shortlisted entries. Epitech by Kevin O'Melia and Connell Casey. Lim Co by Andrea Lee and Michelle Lim. Local Furniture by Cameron Ben-Simon. Promote Your Local by Hans Augustenberg. The Statue Review by Heavy Duty. The Interview Before the Interview by Emma Lee Moore, Katiana O'Neill and Pierce Thompson. Food for Thought by Food for Thought. The Foreword by The Foreword. The WhatsApp School by Play Academy. Quantum Flytrap by Quantum Flytrap. Gentle Mentals by Veronica Padilla. And the student's side hustle pencil goes to Little Talks by Stephanie Connolly. Now, children are often the invisible victims of their parents' crimes, often called hidden victims of the penal system. Stephanie Connolly started working to address this problem as an undergraduate and later during masters with her project Little Talks, a support framework for children that was created to protect and preserve the relationship between children and their loved ones in prison. And our final side hustle pencil is awarded to I Like Networking by I Like Networking. This is set up by Isabel Sachs after she lost her job to COVID. I Like Networking is a mentoring and networking initiative that supports the inclusion and career progression of women and non-binary creatives. The pilot program has so far amassed 37 key industry leaders from institutions such as Tate, Google, Galdem, and hosts an online community of over 10,000 creatives. We now move on to experiential. And the wood pencils go to Feed Parade by Gut Sao Paulo, Boards of Change by FCB Chicago, Make It Canadian by Rethink, Super Wendy's World by VMLY&R, Enjoy Before Returning by Publicis Italy, Pour Perfectly by Rethink Canada, Slow Ways by Shea Proximity Sydney, The Oreo Doomsday Vault by The Community Miami, The Applegram by Famous Innovations, Verizon Fortnite Stadium by RGA New York, Momentum Worldwide, and The Clean Jersey Swap by Saatchi & Saatchi New York. The experiential graphite pencils go to Renault Village Electric by Publicis Conceal for Renault, Europhenus Plasticus by BBDO Group Germany for WWF Germany, H&M Loop by AKQA for H&M, Bex Frequency by AKQA for Bex, Alone With Me by Spotify for Spotify. Now there are 3 yellow pencils which were awarded in experiential, and these go to Donation Dollar by Saatchi & Saatchi Melbourne Production by Revolver and Will O'Rourke for the Royal Australian Mint.
Australian charities.
Whoa. Look at this. Wow. What a
The Uncensored Library by DDB Group Germany Production by Media Monks for Reporters Without Borders.
Reporters Without Borders presents The Uncensored Library. Millions of young people grow up in countries with online censorship. But Minecraft, one of the biggest games in the world, is freely accessible where other media is blocked.
I'm Yulia Berezovskaya.
Acclaimed independent journalists publish their censored articles as uncensored books directly in Minecraft.
We need to inform young people about the real political situation in the world.
Block by block, a giant library was built, a digital monument for press freedom. And for the first time ever, a game became a loophole to bypass censorship.
GMR Play Connected by Adam and Eve DDB Production by Blink for Adidas.
Google Checker that tracks your shots, speed, passes and agility in the real world.
And transfers that data into FIFA Mobile to boost your players. My brain can't even compute it right now.
Well done to all the amazing experiential winners. Now it's time for e-commerce. And the wood pencils go to 3362falabella.com by Leo Burnett, Colombia, Secret Menu by Ogilvy, Australia, Give for Good by BETC Paris. VAR Discount by Nord DDB Stockholm. Merch Aid by RGA New York. Sickwear by Mucinex by Barbarian. Endless World of Air Max by BBDO New York. And IKEA Harajuku with Ima by Wyden and Kennedy Tokyo. And the graphite pencils go to Nike Air Max Clouds by AKQA for Nike. Migrants on Amazon by BETC Paris for Auberg de Migrants. And IKEA Animal Crossing Catalogue by Ogilvy Taiwan for IKEA. Now, one yellow pencil was awarded, and that goes to Raising Profiles by FCB Inferno for the big issue.
We recreated the vendor sales model online, and we chose to do it on LinkedIn because that's where 70% of our vendors' former customers were. Cross-referencing workplace locations on LinkedIn, we found people who worked near where our vendors used to sell, and we recreated that neighbourhood digitally. So the vendors could reconnect with the same professionals who used to walk.
And now we move on to PR. And the wood pencils in PR go to Famous Orders, the Travis Scott Mill by the Narrative Group. True Name by McCann, New York. Be a Vilf by Mischief at No Fixed Address. Contract for Change by FCB Chicago, FCB New York. 2 wood pencils were awarded to Salah 2032 by Africa, Play NZ by TBWA Sydney, Cites by Hersey, Unboxing by FCB and Fire Spain, and 2 wood pencils were awarded to Michelob Ultra Courtside by FCB NY. Invisible, and 1 for Invisible Woman by Service Plan France. Burger King and Friends by Buzzman. A New Jingle for a New Era by Edelman, New York. Bigger Picture by David Miami. KFC, the world's least appropriate slogan by Mother London. Say List by Rothko, part of Accenture Interactive. Victoria 1.8 by Ogilvy, Mexico. A Million More by Forsman and Bodenfors Gothenburg. And 2 wood pencils were awarded to the Uncensored Library by DDB Group Germany. And the graphites go to the Uncensored Library by DDB Group Germany for Reporters Without Borders, RSF. Chief and NWHM Glass Ceiling Breaker by BBH New York for Chief. Play NZ by TBWA Sydney for Tourism, New Zealand. Famous Orders, the Travis Scott Mill by the Narrative Group for McDonald's. Reddit Superb Owl by RGA California for Reddit. That Look from Popeyes by Gut Agency for Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen. Now, 2 graphite pencils were awarded to Burger King Cow's Menu by We Believers New York for Burger King Global. 2 graphite pencils were also awarded to the Clean Jersey Swap by Saatchi & Saatchi New York for Procter & Gamble. 3 graphite pencils were awarded to True Name by McCann, New York for MasterCard. And 1 graphite was awarded to Eurofines Plasticus by BBDO Group Germany for WWF Germany. And Salah 2032 by Africa for House of Lapland. And the yellow pencils for PR belong to The Baby That Changed HIV by DDB Group, New Zealand production by the Collective Force for New Zealand AIDS Foundation.
Sperm Positive, as it's called, already has donors. They all have the virus, but because of new drug treatments, they cannot transmit the disease.
And launching Sperm Positive is about changing the...
And hashtag Still Speaking Up by Publicis Mexico for Protesta Cívica.
Si ustedes se pasan, pues ya saben, ¿no? Lo que sucede, ¿no?
Yo no tengo miedo, señor presidente, porque no me pueden matar dos veces.
Congratulations to all the winners. Right, let's go back to some shout outs. I've got one that is shout out to Kriu, who is watching us live and who has just won his first ever wood pencil. Yes! This was for writing for design category. Honestly, congratulations to you. That is exactly what we like to hear about. Right, let's get on to the last two categories. The first up is film. 2 wood pencils were awarded to a career limiting campaign by Saatchi & Saatchi New Zealand. 1 wood pencil goes to Disappearing Stories by Mozga Studio. Then Dr. Rick by Arnold Worldwide. And Festive Burberry by Riff Raff Films. 2 wood pencils were awarded to Let Her Run by Africa. Life Below Water by Goodbye Silverstein and Partners. Shot on iPhone by Damien Chazelle, Vertical Cinema by TBWA Media Arts Lab Los Angeles. The Last Dance Deepfake by Translation ESPNCW. The Look by Saturday Morning. The Whole Working From Home Thing by Apple. You Can't Stop Us by Wyden and Kennedy Portland. And You Love Me by Translation. And the graphite pencils go to Alexa's Body by Lucky Generals for Amazon. Life Needs Truth by Droga 5 New York for the New York Times. Whatever It Takes by AMV BBDO for Macmillan Cancer Support. The Hiring Chain by Indiana Production for Core Down. Vertical Cinema by Super Prime Films for Apple. And the first yellow pencil tonight for film goes to Hashtag Womb Stories by AMV BBDO Production by Chelsea Pictures for Essity. Now, a stonking 3 yellow pencils go to Francesca by Publicis Italy Production by Division Paris for Diesel.
Love Me or Not.
And 1 to You Love Me by Translation Production by Pretty Bird for Beats by Dr. Dre.
We gon' be us. We gon' break bread. gravity. You love my culture, but do you love me? What a world that would be.
And now for our final category tonight, integrated. The wood pencils in integrated go to the future official sponsors of the NWSL by Viner Media. Search Black Owned by Google Brand Studio. Send Nudes by Mischiefs at No Fixed Address. And hashtag GIF versus GIF by PS1. The graphites for integrated are awarded to For Your Consideration by Saatchi & Saatchi New York for Women in Film. Reddit, Up the Vote by RGA California for Reddit. Littlest Bailout by Leo Burnett Chicago for Kraft Heinz. Trapped in Advertising by Grey New York for Pringles. And our final yellow pencil of the evening goes to The Birth of Gaming Tourism by McCann London Production by Kraft for Xbox Microsoft.
We've been producing travel guides for locations all over the world for the past 40 years. For the first time ever, we had merged the travel market with the gaming market.
Each chapter is dedicated to one of these gaming worlds. The things not to miss, spots that you really shouldn't go into this world without seeing. Things like currency.
Now, to close the show tonight, we're turning to a really special award, one that I've, alongside the other D&AD trustees, have had the pleasure and privilege of judging for the last couple of years. It's called the Collaborative Award. And the reason I think it's special is because it recognises the long-lasting relationships between clients and their design studios or advertising agencies. And it prioritises some, what I think are very important qualities that underpin all great creativity: collaboration, patience, and trust. It's about working together to create ever more powerful and ever more meaningful work over time. And that's really special, I think. This year, we have two great winners. The first is in design, and it goes to Super Union and the very beautiful and innovative collaboration they've had with the London Symphony Orchestra since 2015.
Hi there, everyone. This is absolutely amazing news. As you can imagine, we are delighted, honoured, slightly stunned, but extremely proud to get this level of recognition. So thank you, D&AD judges. It's been such a joy to work with LSI over the past 6 years. They're an amazing client. They've been consistently ambitious and courageous, and that's led us to do some great work that we're super proud of. As you can see, there's a lot of excitement in the room. That's thrown me. I also wanted to, just to say a massive thanks to London Symphony Orchestra marketing team, in particular Ed, Karen, Catherine, and Fiona. We've also had the opportunity to work with some amazing digital and motion designers over the past, again, 6 years. Tobias Gremler, Mainframe, Lucas and Alexa, David McLeod, Esteban Diacono, and Fountain Studio. Huge respect and thanks to those guys. And of course, Super Union team, some of which are here, Sam and Suze, but also some people that aren't. So Mickey, Eric, Mari, and Rich P. Thank you to you guys. And of course, I guess the person we should also talk about is Simon Rattle. Massive thanks to him. If he didn't agree to wearing that rather silly looking motion capture suit, none of us would be here right now.
And Spicer.
Sorry, Spicer. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Union for doing that great work and for showing us how to drink beer with a face mask on. The second collaborative award goes to Almap BBDO for their 27-year journey with Alpargatas in promoting and transforming the reputation of Havaianas with enduring joy, colour and life.
Hello everyone, I'm Luis Sanchez, the Chairman, CCO and partner of Almap Video. On behalf of Almap and Havaianas, I'd like to say thank you. We are so happy with this amazing recognition of our relationship. Sure. It is a unique moment for Latin America because it's the first time a Brazilian brand and a Brazilian agents received this award, so thank you so much. But it's been a long journey. In the past 27 years, I was able to witness it and contribute with this incredible brand since the very beginning of this journey. It is the most successful case of a partnership in Brazil because client and agents believe when you put creativity in the center of everything, the results are amazing, such as transform a piece of rubber into a very desirable fashion item. Through communication, we were able to transform a local brand into a global love brand because every time you step into a flip-flop, you are transported to a world of freedom and joy where you were able to express yourself and find your own beach. Everything was communication. So, of course, it's been a long journey, and in the past 27 years, lots and lots of people contribute to do that. So congratulations, everyone. Also, the new teams, they are still contributing to transform this brand to touch people's heart.
I love that
Thank
work.
you.
Well done, Havaianas, and well done, Almap BBDO. It's really great stuff. So that's it for night one. Congratulations again to all of this year's pencil winners, and thanks to all the entrants for supporting D&AD. As I mentioned at the start, the work has been exceptional, not just in the circumstances we've been through in the last year, but under any circumstances, and I think demonstrates the resilience and imagination of creativity and its value as an industry and as a profession. And given all that, I'd like to ask the UK's Education Minister, Gavin Williamson, about his proposed arts education funding cuts and how he thinks they make any sense when actually they make no sense at all. So please come back tomorrow for part 2, when we'll be revealing the design, culture and impact winners, along with the highly coveted black pencils. Spoiler alert, there are some and they're great. but now continue to celebrate as a hugely talented musician and fellow Pentagram partner takes the decks, the brilliant Yuri Suzuki spinning the party up in 2 minutes. Have a great night.